Well, what's going on, everybody? It's been quite a long time since I've posted any kind of videos or anything of that kind of nature. A lot of stuff has happened in the last few years. Got married, bought a house, started graduate school. That ends next Friday, finally. There's a pandemic going on and a lot of uncertainty in the world. A lot of people at home, out of work, not really knowing what's going to happen in their lives, but I'm still work at the hospital, and a lot of uncertainty there for us too, as far as what's going to happen patient wise. Are we going to run out of protective equipment? And so for me, my constant distraction is fishing and making fishing lures and doing the stuff that I enjoy. So I figured today, while I'm at home, not doing schoolwork and not at the hospital, why not make some fishing lures for you guys, because I haven't done that in quite some time. So today we're going to make a kind of a funky little color. Some of y'all probably have never seen anything like this, at least in the bass fishing world, but I promise you it does work. I call it bass to trout. That's a little South Park reference if you haven't heard that before. And it's bubblegum pink and green pumpkin laminate. It sounds funny, but I promise it works. So let's get to it. All right, so what we got here are 1 cup each of the Dead On Plastics Black Bucket Swim Bait Blend. This is probably my favorite plastic to use, just as an all-around good medium. You can always adjust it if you need to get a more soft or harder plastic, just based on adding softener and hardener to it. But anyway, over here on this cup on the right, I'm going to add 2 drops of white and about 50 drops of bubble gum. Do it for that. And over here on this left side, we're going to make our green pumpkin. Now I use watermelon and green pumpkin colorants to make mine. I like my green pumpkin to be a little more on the green side. That's a good bit of watermelon. Then we're going to add some green pumpkin. Alright, I'm going to heat those up and I'll be back to you in just a second. Alright, so our plastic is out of the microwave. We're not going to add anything to the bubblegum side. We are going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of medium black flake, maybe a little bit more, to this green pumpkin side and see where that gets us. This is 0.035 black flake and it's square cut. I like the square cut better than the hex cut for just personal preferences. Probably because I'm from the South and I've been using Zoom plastics my entire life, and Zoom utilizes mostly square cut glitter in a lot of their soft plastics. So I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Not too much, not too little. So I've been doing this for a long time, and when I first started out, there was no such thing as a dual injector. You just had this little blending block, or you had to buy the shooting star from Bear. Well, being young and in college and pretty darn broke, I didn't have the money for a shooting star, needless to say. So I still use 2 injectors that aren't joined together. I don't have the fancy dual injector from Bass Tackle, although I have been looking into getting the triple injector sometime in the future. Maybe I'll use my stimulus check for that. Who knows? But either way, this still works. I know it's not as ideal as some of the other injection methods are, like using the actual Bass Tackle blending block, but you'll see I still get great results. So here we go. This is a little flat-sided finesse worm. And this is the stinger mold, the little stinger actually, from AI. And then this, well, get in there, is the big stinger, also from AI. I'll top those off. and we'll see how they turn out. Alright guys, it's been a few minutes. Let's see how these have set up and see how they've turned out. I haven't made this color in quite a while. It's not one that I use a whole lot, but there are certain times of the year, especially down here in Alabama, when this is a great color to use. So it looks like we could have gone a little bit darker on our green pumpkin, but I don't absolutely hate it. It looks actually pretty good. Got a little bit of bleed over on this bottom one, but the rest of them look really good actually. I actually kind of like that the green pumpkin's not super dark. Alright, cool. Set those down. Let's open up these little stingers, see how they turned out. Again, had a little bit of bleed over, but nothing major. Those look pretty good too. Not entirely happy with the green pumpkin. I think we should have gone a little bit darker, but again, nothing terrible. Definitely still fishable. Fish will still eat it. These big stingers turned out pretty good. Let's see. A little bleed over again, but that's okay. I actually kind of don't mind it, especially in these funky colored baits. Kind of gives them a different look, but alright. I think I'm going to go a little bit darker on the green pumpkin, so I'm going to darken it up, and I'll meet you guys back here in just a few minutes. Alright guys, we're back. So what I did, since I didn't think that green pumpkin was quite dark enough to really contrast with the pink, I took another color called Black Melon, which is one of my absolute favorite colors. It's just so applicable in so many different situations when you want to darken up like a certain, watermelon just a little bit, or give your green pumpkin, like in this situation, a darker, more green look. You just add some of that black melon and you're pretty much good to go. It's just a great color to have in your arsenal, and it's a great color by itself. Really lends itself to a lot of different applications. So we're going to see if we can't help stop some of that bleed over we were having by starting with the blending block off of the mold. Sometimes that does a little bit to help, because you can kind of get them both flowing at the same time before it ever gets to the mold. So I'm going to try that right now. Kind of having a hard time working around this camera. This is not something I do a whole lot of, as y'all know. But the whole key to injection is just a nice, slow, even injection. Top those off. Get that off of there. Move over to this one. Good injection there. Top that off. Move on over to the next one. I think that is going to look a lot better just based off of what the color looks like there at the opening to the port. So let these harden up a little bit and I'll get back with you guys. We'll see how we did on the second try. Alright guys, so these molds have had a little bit more time to cool off after we darkened up our green pumpkin sides. So let's open them up and see how we did. Okay. Immediately you can tell that green pumpkin side's much darker. Now that's what I'm talking about. That looks really good. I guess I should tell you guys, the first time I ever even thought about making this color for bass lures was after I'd gone crappie fishing, and the guy that I was with was fishing a little crappie jig that was pretty much this identical color, and we kept just, accidentally, oh, well, bled over a lot on that one. And on that, man. I don't know what happened there. It's almost like, I don't know. It's like it got plugged up or something during the injection. We'll have to troubleshoot that. That's kind of strange. Huh. And on this one too. That's bizarre. I don't know. Oh well. But anyway, back to what I was saying. We just kept accidentally catching bass on these little crappie jigs. And so I figure, if they'll eat these little crappie jigs in this color, why won't they eat, say, a floating worm? Something like that. So initially, that's what I made from the get-go, were floating trick worms, kind of like the ones that we made already. And here you can see one of the ones that we just did. My thought was, springtime, Alabama, one of the things that everybody throws is a bubblegum trick worm, aka the redneck special. And certain times of the year, it just kills. And then, other times it doesn't work so great. But I was thinking, if they'll eat that bubblegum trick worm, surely they'll eat one that's half bubblegum, half green pumpkin. And I'm here to tell you, they will eat it. Whether you're fishing slow around grass, they'll eat it on a freaking shaky head. They don't care. They will eat this thing. And so that was kind of what led me to make this color. And so far, it's been successful in making little beaver baits like this. Even though these didn't turn out so great, I'll still fish them. They'll still catch fish. Bass don't care. They'll still eat that. But they've worked out well in beaver baits, craws. Haven't done them in a lizard, although that's an idea. Really, I fish them in the shaky head or the flat bottom worm more than anything, and that seems to be what they really, really like. So I hope this video helps you guys. It helps you guys, come up with some more creative options than just the standard colors. The reason we get into this thing, after all, is to be able to come up and create our own color combos that other people don't have. So I hope you guys have learned something. If you did, leave a like, leave a dislike if you need to. Send me a link in the comments or a comment saying something else that you'd like me to try. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.